Well, hi, and thanks for joining me here. Hey, I'm going to be taking a look at this really cool vintage computer that I have. And this one's a little bit special. And I may even try turning it on. After we take a look at it, I'll make a decision whether I really want to try just plugging it in and seeing what it does. This is a Commodore computer from the early 1980s. I'm not exactly sure when. This one's the SuperPET 9000. It's a computer that was developed at the University of Waterloo in conjunction with Commodore, and it has a couple of different processing chips in it. Unlike most computers that just have one processor, this one has a couple. There's actually some switches on the side over here for selecting which processor you want to work with. So consequently, this computer can be programmed in quite a number of vintage languages, including COBOL and Fortran, and of course BASIC. BASIC being a language you didn't find much in academic circles, but mostly in home computers and things of that sort. And of course, Commodore was very big into the home computer. I think, this one, the screen, keyboard, the whole thing, the computer's down under here. It's all one unit here. I can't separate it. It's one piece, one big piece, basically, which is kind of a cool thing. The screen, if we turn it on and it works, it will just produce green, just green print. There's no fanciness going on with this computer at all. And kind of a typical keyboard, layout. My understanding was this was the top of the line model, and with the extra features that it had in it, at the University of Waterloo, it was used as a remote terminal to their much bigger, I think it was an IBM 360 mainframe computer. So these things had some processing power in them themselves, and then somehow this helped the professors in the university interact with the main computer in an efficient way. I think that's kind of the story behind this. So it's a really cool computer. I don't think there's anything else quite like it, really. And I think the story is shortly after these were being marketed, this sort of style, there's a number of other Commodore computers with lesser numbers on them, like a 4000 series and 8000 series. This is the 9000. They all kind of look like this, more or less. But then right after this came the Commodore VIC-20, and then the blockbuster, the Commodore 64. Now I have a bunch of those. I have a bunch of those computers, and prior to doing this video, I got two of those Commodore 64s I have out, and shot videos on them and tested them out, and in the end they didn't work. So, will this computer work? There's lots of reasons to think it may not. So anyway, let's take a look at it. I'll turn it around here. It's just a little awkward to do, but okay. Now in the camera, you can see something down here. Here it says, what does it say there? Program, read, write, and read. So the program RW, which I assume is read, write, and this way read. What exactly those mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of reading and hopefully find a manual if I really start getting into this. And this one, programming in this mode, or PROG, which I assume stands for programming. That's for the 6502 processor chip, and this is a 6809. Looks like 6809. So the 6809 was a Motorola chip, I believe. There's a number of competing CPU chips back in the day. Of course, Intel won out in the end. Let's see what we got here. serial number 7031. So I don't know if that means they made 7,000 of these. I don't really know. I didn't think they made very many of these, frankly. I thought they were all related to the University of Waterloo, but maybe not. So they got some ports down here. Caution: high voltage inside. Only qualified personnel should disassemble. Okay, just 1 second here while I deem myself qualified. There we go. Some other ports. One of these will be for a floppy drive. I happen to have it. I happen to have a floppy drive. It's right here. It has that sort of connector on it. It's going in. I think it's going in on this slot. I don't know, but we're not going to hook that up. It's really a long shot that works. What else we got here? Here's the got to be an off and on switch. I don't know, does the white dot mean it's on or off? I don't know. I'm flipping it down. Down usually means off. Must be a fuse here. Ground terminal? Yeah, 1.6 amp fuse. Okay, wow. Now, something that's kind of neat about these. I had planned to loosen a couple of screws here before starting the video, but I didn't. So just bear with me here. Now, how did I get this? I got this at a yard sale. A long time ago now. 20 years or more. I paid next to nothing for it. And I know it worked at that time. I just have to take one more screw out here. Commodore computers were particularly popular in Toronto, in the Toronto area. Waterloo is a city not too far from Toronto, where there's a large, well-established, well-known engineering university there, University of Waterloo. And they were big into computers, of course. The engineering, computers, electronics engineering, stuff like that, kind of all goes together. Okay, you ready? Here we go. This is what's cool. Going up. I'm doing this very carefully because okay, it should be a that. How stable is this? Good. There's an idea. What's going on here? Yeah, how many computers you can do this to? Lift the hood. Okay. What do we got inside? Well, signs of moisture having been inside here. This is the original. This is the original everything. I'm just looking it over. It looks, it looks pretty good actually. Most of the chips are soldered in. This one's in a plug-in. Let's try the close-up camera on this. Got a few capacitors. It could be trouble. There we go. I apologize for the focus. So I saw some moisture. This looks really bad. This is the sounder. This is a little piezoelectric speaker. Oof, bad news on that. Good. You know, this has not been stored well. Shame on me. This has been stored in just about the worst way possible. Basement floor for a few years, like 15 years. The last few years, oh, shame on me, it's been out in my garage. So, well, I can't see way up under this board here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't really expect to see much. It's kind of good. So again, I apologize for that very slow autofocus there. Crystal. Apparently this is a 1 megahertz computer. 1.8, you know, that might be part of the clock scheme. You know what? I think this might look good enough to. Oh, of course, what's up here? Oops. Okay, what's up here? Then we're looking up into the monitor. So there's the CRT at the front. Cathode ray tube. And, any one of a million potential problems there. Okay. Well, what have I got to lose? Really? What have I got to lose? I don't expect there to be any kind of really serious explosion, below me sky high type problem with something like this. It just takes a standard cord. Okay, now I think it's switched off. Just change the lighting around a little bit. Just get rid of that. And so we're hoping for something to come up on the screen here. Just a moment. Okay, I plugged it in there. Oh my gosh. Okay, that answers that question. Waterloo Microsystems. Oh wow, it's fantastic. See, I hadn't even rehearsed a camera angle for this because I really didn't expect it to work. Isn't that the coolest? Now, I think I gotta do it a little more light. Just trying to get a better image. Maybe my other camera. get going here. It's about the same. Okay. Well, I don't know. Get going. Where am I going to get going? I guess first we can find out if the keyboard works. Seems to me this should be flashing, not sitting there doing nothing. Could be those buttons I pushed. Let's see, the switches are both set on program. Let's hit the keyboard here. Oh. A. Now. Trying to get my chair up here so I can type properly. I don't think I'm gonna. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Well, it's all working. M, N, P, bunch of numbers across the top. So 1, 1, no 1. 2, 3, no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 9s, 0, no 1. That's it's putting up an underscore, but it's actually it's a back arrow key. Bottom row here, yeah, no Z, so there's a few buttons not working. That's the return. Oh, loading disk. What happened there? I hit return twice. Oh, that's pretty wild. What is all that? Oh, that's what I've been typing in. That's the gibberish I typed in. And then I pushed enter, and so it's attempting to load from the disk that file. That's how I interpret that. Well, I don't really know what language or anything I'm working in here at all. So let me move one of those switches to 6502. There we are, Commodore Basic 4. Oh wow, 30K bytes free. That's great. Let's try this. I'm doing this from memory now, which that's not a good thing. No. Semicolon. Come on, semicolon, you can do it. Oh, got one. Got two actually. So I think that what that says is the buttons are probably in some kind of deteriorated state. Okay, I think I just leave it like that. And then here for I'll put line 40. So this is a really, how about 50? Line 50. Go to 30. 30. How did I get a 3 up there? There we are. Yeah, so hit and miss. Hit and miss. Go to 30. How about, here we go. Run. Haha. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm totally stunned. Let me, how do you stop this? Run stop. There we are. Isn't that just the coolest thing? Wow. So what I'm gonna do, cursor's down here. There's a home button, isn't there? Home. Home. There we are. Hey, it's coming back to me. Well, let's try the other processor, the 6089, I think it is. Waterloo Microsystems select setup monitor APL basic edit. Okay, and you could be selecting it by selecting the first letter of these words. So if that's the case, we would push S, enter. Oh man. So baud rate 2400. So I don't know what it's talking about exactly. Well, I know what the baud rate is. I don't know what it means. Like, has it got a modem built into it? I don't think so. This could be the IEEE port on it. Stop bits, all this stuff. Now wait, how do we go back? Push return. Ooh, that was a little scary. Did I just change something back there? Fortran. Oh my gosh. When was the last time I wrote Fortran? Pascal. These are all early APL, early computer programs, and this computer's got them all. It's got them all. Setup monitor APL basic. Well, I get the basic here. Edit. I don't know. That's maybe the, I don't know what that is. Editor for editing all your programs. Fortran, Pascal. Development. Don't know what that is. Edit. Let's try edit. What's edit? Edit. Loading disk 1.edit. Program not found. Okay, let's try Fortran. If I push F. Loading disk 1.fortran. Oh, ooh, sounds like this stuff's not built in. I have to have these disks. But more likely what's going on is I just don't have a clue what I'm doing right now. Wow. Well, I think there's some fun coming. For sure. I'll have to think a little bit about fixing up the keyboard, because I'm going to need all the keys if I'm going to actually try to do stuff with this computer. What a cool thing. You know, instant on too. And I guess you just switch it off when you're done. There's no shutdown. Okay, let me switch it off here. Wow. Okay, so that went a lot better than my first two videos, neither of which I put on YouTube because they were not entertaining. That was great. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to have to read up a lot. I got to find some floppy disks for the disk drive. We got to try plugging in the disk drive next time around. And we'll see how that goes. Fantastic. Thanks so much for watching.